Hi, welcome to the BAMTV studio tour part 2. We're gonna visit my room. So, welcome. Today we're gonna take a small look at my room of the BAMTV studio complex, as we call it. Let's go to this wall. So over here I built my synth wall. It starts off with the Pro 1 and the Programmer 24, which is a very nice Italo synth, by the way. We will make a separate movie of that soon, I guess. Then we have the PPG Wave, one of my favorite synthesizers. Very unique sound. Some electrons, the Poly 6 by Korg and Sonic ESQ1. And then we have some more modern synths here, the Novation Base Station 2, which I really like, and the infamous Abstract Instruments analog bassline, which is like an Uber 303, the DeepMind 12, and we have a more classical section here with the Jupiter 8, the flagship, the TR-808, TR-909, and the famous sample brothers of the same era, the Lindrum and the DMX. And on top we have the Casio CZ1. Let's take a look down here, because the wall's not finished yet. This is my sampler section, where we have a Kurzweil K25-100, Roland VP9000 phrase sampler, EMU E4X, Roland SV50, and some stuff to put sound in there because they are samplers. And I added a little monitor here to operate the SV50 by Roland, because otherwise it's not doable with its 80s interface. Speaking of 80s, we have some more 80s stuff here. That's a Roland MKS20 digital piano, Studio Electronics ATC1, Akai VX90 analog sound module. Then we have the Super FM Synth FS1R, Waldorf MyQQ, Kawai K5000R, Roland D110, Roland D50, 550, the Korg Wave Station AD with, as I see it now, an empty battery, but we'll fix that. And then we have the Microwave by Waldorf and its programmer. They are separated by the MIDI interface, and the Moog Voyager rack mount edition. That concludes the wall. Oh, I forgot something. There are 3 more drum machines on that side, and I actually had these modified. They're all circuit bent, so instead of making dull 80s sample sounds, they produce a tremendous amount of noise. Always good. Okay, moving over to this side, we have my 2 main keyboards here. The JX10 by Roland, also a very nice old school analog synthesizer, and I have the programmer for it, so I can actually make some sounds instead of having to dial everything in on this display. The OB6, one of my personal favorites, instant 80s gratitude. And over here we have the programmer for the D550. So lots of stuff to make nice synth sounds with. Everything on the wall is connected to the mixing desk via cables and a big patch bay over here. The patch bay goes into the channels of the mixing desk, which is a 32 channel AMAC Rembrandt. It actually has 64 channels. I mostly use 32 of them. And it's completely VCA automated by this computer that you see over here. Let me press a button and there we have the screen. So old school PC controlling an old school mixing desk but it sounds great. On top of the mixing desk are the monitors. I use the Genelec 8030s for my daily monitoring for mixing, and if I need to hear the low end properly, or just want to listen to music in a nice way, then I use the Eevo SC407s. No subwoofer, because they can do the job pretty well in this room. What are synths without effects? So I have two racks here, which contain all kinds of effects units. Let's take a look at this one. This is a Korg stage echo, tape echo, similar to the Roland RE201, but from Korg. Tape is on the top. Then we have an Akai MFC42 analog filter module, Culture Vulture preamp distortion, a quite obscure Delta Lab Effectron 2 digital delay, which can do stuff that other delays cannot, but as we can see, there are more delays here, each with their own unique character. That's why I have so many of them. So we have the more obscure 80s reverb here by Ibanez, SDR 1000, the Sony DP V77, and this one's not on, the Ursa Major Stargate 626, also a reverb. Moving on to the bottom of the rack is the Rooster, which is also the same brand as the Culture Vulture, and this is a nice tube preamp. Lexicon Primetime 2, again a digital delay, a very early one. Then we have the PCM 81 by Lexicon, with two Eventides, the H7600 and the H3000 DSE, and Sonic DP4 Plus, Alessa's MIDI Verb, and on the very bottom is the Tapco 4400, which is a spring reverb stereo with a built-in equalizer. So moving on to the next effect rack, which contains on the top my Mooger Fuggers, ring modulator, MIDI Merv, and the MF104M analog delay. Then the Sherman filter bank. And here we have a very nice precise equalizer by Universal Audio called the 565 filter set. Here is the Proco Red. This is a rack mount version of the Proco Red Distortion, famous guitar pedal. This one has actually two of them in there, and you can also double them for more distortion. Then we have the Ibanez multi-mode analog delay, which is a bucket brigade delay, and it's brother from another brand, the Yamaha E1010, which is also bucket brigade delay mono. You have a stereo bucket brigade delay and reverb by Dynacord, the Azor S56. And here's another spring reverb by Master Room. And then there's the Eventide Instant Flanger. I'm not a guitar player, but I like some of the effects that can also be used very well with synths or modular or whatever you want. So there's the Adrenaline by Roger Lynn, the Strymon Timeline and Big Sky, very strange but nice reverb pedal, the Holiest Grail by Electro Harmonics, a 12-stage phaser by Prophecy Sound Systems, obscure Australian brand, Maxon Multi-Effects, a Mutron Phaser 2, and a pedal selection with some of my favorite pedals by Boss and Ibanez. So those are the effects, but I've got some processors as well. I recently got my hands on the Clark Technique famous compressor emulations, the KT2A and the 76 KT and the EQP KT equalizer. We hope to do a review of those. So after the effects we move to the fourth and last part of the studio, which contains all the stuff that doesn't have MIDI and has to be connected with cables, aka my modular gear and some older synthesizers which are CV controlled. Starting with the Simmons SDS5, famous drum synthesizer from the 80s. It's actually modified that it can be controlled by a modular synth. Speaking of which, we have one here. Obviously a lot of modules here, and it's actually divided in two sections. These are used for sounds and drones, and this one on the other side is used for drums mainly. A bit hidden in the bottom of the case is a Roland SH101, which I often use to play the modular synth. Then we have a BAMTV Neutron, Uno drum, a very nice drum computer by IK Multimedia, which we will feature shortly in one of our new videos on BAMTV. And then there's a rack containing some effect processor that I use with the modular, which also will be featured in a future video. So more of that later. Compressor System 1M by Roland. Moving on to the Dub for MAQ163 MIDI analog sequencer, and we have a separate rack here with some more obscure modules like a comp filter, frequency shifter, and a sampler delay by Analog Systems. Over here we have a row of Korg. The original MS-20, MS-50 and SQ10 analog sequencer, and they are accompanied by the modern little brother, the SQ1. Here you have the Behringer MS-101. Since I like the SH-101 sound so much, I decided to add another one. And it sounds great, as you can see in one of our previous videos. There's a matrix root by Arturia, and here we have little silver boxes, being the TB303 and the TR606. So I hope you liked our little studio tour part 2 of my room. As you can see, there are many obscure instruments here and some less obscure, but maybe nevertheless interesting things. If you saw something that you like and want to know more about, please leave us a comment below the video and we'll see what we can do. So give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe to our channel to see all our next videos, and we'll see you next time.